The mysterious Jason Bishop III, also known as Tal Levesque, also known as Tal, an enigmatic personality behind the Dulce Base myths. Jason Bishop III has been one of the original promoters of the Dulce Base myths. This photo of him was taken in 1990 in Los Angeles when he was filmed by a Nippon television program dealing with Area 51 in Nevada and Dulce, New Mexico. The interview took place at my residence in Gardena, California, where I was living at that time. The 2-hour program was shown only in Japan on March 24th, 1990. He requested that his face be blacked out for the program. In the early 1990s, Jason Bishop III visited with me many times at my residence even after I moved to Torrance, California. Apparently, at that time, he was living in Redondo Beach, California. It is not an exaggeration to say that more than 90% of the original information that one reads on Dulce originated from Jason Bishop III. Until recently, I was not aware of his passing. From what I heard, he died on December 21st, 2018 in California at the age of 69, presumably in Mariposa, where he was thought of residing at that time. My belated condolences. Without him, I would never have known about the origins of the fascinating Dulce Base rumors and myths. Jason Bishop III claimed that he worked with a Thomas E. Costello when he was living in Santa Fe, New Mexico, 1978 and 1979, working in security for a private company. It was there that Bishop claimed to have befriended the alleged Costello. Jason Bishop III reportedly gave the impression that he was present at the 1988 Mount Archuleta expedition alongside Gabe Valdez, Edmund Gomez, Jeff and Greg Valdez, French physicist Dr. Jean Gilles, Manuel Gomez Jr., Elaine A., and a scientist from Los Alamos. Dr. Jean Gilles refuted that Jason Bishop III was even present at that expedition. Now, I had the honor of getting together with Dr. Gilles in France in the spring of 2016. I'm sure that Jason Bishop III's influence extended widely, probably affecting people such as Alan B. DeWalton or Branton, and even Phil Schneider, who must have certainly read Jason Bishop III's writings. By the way, to know more about Branton, also known as Alan B. DeWalton, author of the Dulce book and the Dulce Wars, you can look at my website listed. Now, it was Jason Bishop III who devised the so-called underground tunnels connection map of the United States, centering in the American Southwest through the so-called Dulce Hub. Now, Jason Bishop III's extensive writings can be found at the Blue Planet Project, listed on the site. Now, in January of 2009, Jason Bishop III became quite infuriated when I told him that I was organizing the first time ever underground base conference in Dulce, New Mexico. He warned me not to have such a conference in Dulce. Nevertheless, I went forth with the conference, which was held on March 29, 2009 in Dulce. The conference, open to the public, was entitled the Dulce Base Fact or Fiction Conference. It was a historic and successful conference in many sense of the word, even though nothing conclusive had come out of it, and was attended by more than 140 persons from all over, including many local residents. But just prior to the conference date, Jason Bishop III became quite upset with me because I had not invited John Rhodes, his protege, to speak at the conference. John Rhodes claimed that he was an expert on reptilians. Jason Bishop III was one of the many avid readers of the original Shaver mystery in the early 1950s. He was deeply influenced by the Shaver mystery. According to Wikipedia, Richard Sharp Shaver was an American writer and artist. He achieved notoriety in the years following World War II as the author of controversial stories which were printed in science fiction magazines, primarily Amazing Stories, in which he claimed that he had personal experience of a sinister ancient civilization that harbored fantastic technology in caverns under the earth. The controversy stemmed from the claim by Shaver and his editor and publisher Ray Palmer that Shaver's writings, while presented in the guise of fiction, were fundamentally true. Shaver's stories were promoted by Ray Palmer as the Shaver mystery. Like I said, Jason Bishop III was an avid reader of the Shaver mysteries in the early 1950s. A couple of years ago, I received a letter from Jason Bishop III's sister, Carolyn Levesque of Arroyo Grande, confirming to me about his long-term condition, that is, some form of mental delusive illness. Also, a few years ago, a friend of mine, C. Gilbert Wright, told me that coincidentally he had corresponded with the brother of Phil Schneider, who told him that Phil was also suffering from a certain long-term condition, that is, some form of mental delusive illness. This is Norio Hayakawa in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, USA.